Hey everyone, Ashley here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. I have been studying many different topics this year, and one of the topics that I am studying currently is astrology. In particular, my birth chart and my three main signs. And if you're unaware of what your three main signs are, it is your sun, moon, and ascendant or rising sign. Those are your, big three as they call them. And of course, if you do a birth chart, there's like a bunch of other things on that chart, and it can be a lot to go through and process. So I'm taking my time, but I had a fun little idea that came to me about going through my deck collection and seeing what deck really represents to me what my three main signs are. So that's what I did, and that's what I want to share with you guys today. So I have a few decks here that we're going to go through, and I will tell you what my three main signs are and what deck I associate with that particular sign. Now, this is, of course, how, my personal opinion, my personal take on the decks and energies and of my signs as well. And it's actually kind of interesting because two of my signs I don't really feel connected to as much as I do my other sign, which, we'll get into. So I have my tea here. Grab whatever beverage you prefer, and let's chat some decks and zodiac signs. All right, so my sun sign is Leo. And Leos are, of course, they kind of take the roles of leadership. They're confident, they're creative. We are associated with the fire element, so we're very passionate and protective beings. And, but there's like some aspects of it that I don't really feel necessarily. Well, yeah, it's interesting because this may change as I, grow and evolve and all that good stuff. But I don't really, they're really confident, and sometimes I really just don't feel confident. But anywho, so Leo sometimes I struggle with, but the deck that I picked for my Leo sign is Under the Oak Tarot. Why is that? Well, because Leos are also very kind and warm and generous. Unless, of course, provoked otherwise. If you get on our bad side, we can be pretty fierce, and we can have a pretty hot temper. But I picked this deck because it does give me that warm feeling, and it's generous, but you have to work for it. And I feel like that's kind of how Leos can be sometimes too, at least for me. Like, if I know you're going to be there for me and show up for me and stuff, then I'm going to be there and show up for you too. And that's how this deck, at least for me, is. Like I said, this is all like my take on it. But this deck, I even just did a spread recently with this one, and it was flat out like, I will be your best friend. Like, we can go on journeys together and learn things together and all this good stuff, but I'm not going to give it to you right away. You have to work for it. So this deck, again, kind and generous. It's sweet, it's loving, especially the characters in here. Like, the artwork's beautiful. It's got this like sweet artwork, and you're following around this child who can't see, but as she keeps going on her journey, she develops a second sight, and it's beautiful. And the other thing about it that I see with the Leo aspect is the leadership, because this deck wants to be the leader. It wants to get me to follow it and push me into getting maybe outside of my comfort zone, maybe building up the confidence I sometimes don't feel in myself. Again, there's the second sight. She's getting the nines in this deck are so beautiful because it's when she's opening up and she is expanding and getting that extra sense. But anyways, I see this leadership quality in this deck because of it wanting me to study and to grow. So there's a lot of growth that can be had with this deck. There's different mythologies in here and pantheons. So you have Greek, Basque, Norse, and Celtic. And so you have all, and like the runes, you can study the runes. There's a lot of different pathways you can take with this deck. I plan on doing another video on this deck, possibly maybe a review video for this deck, because I know one of you asked me how I work with this deck, and I will, that video is coming. It's just taking me a little bit, but okay. Sorry, my thing, I don't know if you can see it, but it got a little messed up there. There we go. So anyways, this is my Leo deck. Again, I can study with it. It gives me the warm, cozy vibes sometimes. It's creative. It's this whole other world. It's this world on this island, and it's lush, and you go through all the seasons, and it's just, it's an entire world, and I love that one. Oh, I love it. So yeah, I really love this deck. I really, really love this deck. It's so beautiful. I love all the symbolism in it. There's Hecate. Oh, gorgeous. A lot of pathways and a lot of studies, like I said, can be done with this deck. And that's why I feel it is my Leo deck, because I am very passionate about studies right now, and creativity. And so it just represents my core values and personality at this time. So that is Under the Oak. Oh, I want to leave it on that one. This one's so cute. I love this one. Holding the bear's hand and like, come on, let's go on a journey, a walk together. So pretty. Okay. So Under the Oak for my Leo sign. Okay. This one I struggle with the most. My moon sign. It's so, well, okay, indecisive. Here we go. Libra. Libra, my moon sign. Libras they can be very indecisive, and when it's my moon, your moon sign is your inner world. It's emotions, it's feelings, it's intuition. And in case I didn't mention it, I know I mentioned it at the end, but of course your sun sign is your core personality, or your true personality, and your core values. Your moon sign is your inner world, and with my inner world being Libra, let's see, Libras they seek harmony and balance and peace. Okay, and also justice and fairness. They're associated with the air element. So, it's all about communication and thinking and like the mind. Like, it's mind. And so that's kind of the reason why indecisiveness comes into play. And like when it's an internal struggle, I could be sitting there and like it's a constant back and forth in my head sometimes, just as an example. And so with that indecisiveness, I felt with this deck the deck that I needed is one that is going to give me clarity. And the deck for that is my Deviant Moon deck. I absolutely love this deck. It's funny that it's also Deviant Moon. So Deviant Moon for my moon sign. But this deck, right from the box, right when I first got it and opened it up, this deck gave me clarity. Like it speaks to me really, really well, really quickly. And it kind of like has that whole inner world vibe, doesn't it? It's unique, it's different, it's kind of like dreamscapey. So it gives me that feeling of like being connected to the moon, being connected to my inner world. And I just absolutely love it. But this one is definitely a truth teller. It's going to tell me how it is. If I'm stuck in a decision, like I said, the indecisiveness, if I'm stuck on something, this is going to be like, okay, well, this is what you need to hear. And you need to make this choice. So that's what this deck is for me. I use this deck all around the board. I absolutely love it. His big guidebook or like coffee table book that he has is also amazing. I love his take on the cards, Patrick Valenza's. And yeah, it's beautiful. But again, it's for my Libra moon. And Libra moon, again, I struggle with, again, the Leo, but also the Libra for some reason. And that's something I'm going to sit with and work on. And hopefully, with me using these decks for those, I'm hoping to get to that point where I can really work on those two and see if I can bring them to balance. Maybe that's where I'm struggling, is that I just don't feel that balance. Because, well, it could also just be because I feel really strongly associated with my rising sign. So let's move on to that one. My rising sign is Scorpio. And your rising sign is your outer world. It's how people view you, but it's also how you interact with the world around you. And there has been so much this year that has pointed me towards, like, at least getting me to this point of realizing that I associate more with my Scorpio sign, because Scorpios are associated with Samhain. You know, that's like their time is at the end of October until like the middle of November. And on my birth chart, like, you have the degrees in which your signs are in, and mine lands right on Samhain. And I've always loved that time of year. Like, I absolutely love it. Red and black are Scorpio's colors, which I absolutely love. I've been drawn to the crystals that are associated with Scorpio. So there's malachite, there's obsidian. I mean, tourmaline and quartz, all sorts of different crystals that are associated with Scorpio I've been drawn to lately. And I'm working with the Morgan, and the Morgan is associated with the Death card in Scorpio, associated with the Death card in Tarot, which is also Scorpio's trump card. So it's just so many different signs, and it's been fascinating. And by the way, if you end up becoming a member, or if you'd like to join my Patreon, I am planning on doing a more in-depth video on this topic, particularly talking about Scorpio, because there's been so many signs and things this year that I've been seeing that have been coming up for me. So, yeah. So if you'd like to join that, I'll leave a link down below to it if you want to check it out, but that video will be coming. So the decks, okay, I have a few decks for this one, and come to realize, like, it was actually kind of hard for me to pick my Leo and Moon decks a little bit. Like, I knew my Moon deck pretty much was going to be Deviant Moon. My Leo deck was a little bit harder, but then the more I started thinking about Under the Oak, I was like, yeah, that's definitely my Leo deck. But Scorpio, oh my goodness. So if you've been around here for a while, you know that a lot of my decks are more on the darker themed side. I love darker themed decks. So Scorpio was really hard to choose because, again, I associate more with Scorpio at this point in time. Also because this year is a year of shadow work for me, of transformation, and Scorpios are all about transformation and also all about mystery and diving deep within and working on your emotions and all that good stuff. So yeah, again, huge connection to Scorpio this year. But for my decks, I chose this one. So these are kind of like honorable mentions. Let me just say this. The last deck I show you is my main Scorpio deck. These first two are just going to be the ones that, again, I work with currently, and they also just represent, like, I am drawn to them because the Scorpio. But Darkwood is one of them, and I love this because this deck is, of course, it was created to be a shadow work deck, but I mean, I use this deck for any pulls at any time. But I just love the vibe and energy of this deck. I love the witchiness in it, like the witchy vibes, the fall vibes, the Samhain vibes. It has all that in here. It's dark, it's mysterious, it's, you know, you're walking through the dark woods and you're stumbling upon creatures and things, and the snake energy on this for the strength card, I love it. Linked to the Kundalini energy, but snakes are associated with Scorpios as well. So I love that. The witch here, I love her. But yeah, I just love this deck. I love the journey of it. I love that there's vampires in there, of course, and it's beautiful. Again, it just has that Samhain energy vibe to me, and it's, I can't say beautiful enough. I absolutely love this deck. I love Abigail Larson's artwork in all of her decks as well. But this one just really represents, I love that one too. Really represents that Scorpio energy for me. The next one, which you guys probably won't guess this one. It's actually a newer deck in my collection, but I've come to really love it quickly. If I can get it out of the bag here. And it is the oh my gosh, I just saw the Deviant Moon, so I said Deviant Moon. This is Tarot de la Nuit. This deck, the reason why I chose it is because it's, you know, Tarot of the Night, so it's that dark time. It's it looks very fairy tale-ish and stuff, but the main core theme of this deck, and even what the creators wrote in the guidebook in the introduction, was they want you to look past what the surface is. And that's what Scorpios do. Scorpios, you can put them in a crowd of people and they're gonna like not pay attention to the outer, like what you're trying to, you know, put out there into the world, but they're gonna go straight to the center and see exactly who you are. Like they like the deep stuff. They want to go deep. And that's what this deck wants you to do too. It wants you to look deep. Like you see this, take it further. So this is really an awesome deck. I've really grown to love it as well. Especially because like there are some fairy tales in here that you can see straight off the bat. Like I know there's Cinderella in here. We just saw Frozen. Oh, there's Cinderella. So like even this one, like you look at the surface and it's like, oh, Cinderella, okay. Two of Pentacles. Okay. But so she's like running up the stairs here and stuff, but like take it deeper. Try to get deeper into it. And so it's really interesting, and it's a cool deck to journey with and meditate on. And it's beautiful. I love that. Oh, I love this one too. I think I mentioned it in another video, but this card right here just reminds me of the Morgan too. She's got her crow up here, and I just total Morgan vibes. Which, okay, here's the other thing. The Morgan showed up for me January 3rd this year, that she wanted to work with me. And again, she is a goddess of transformation. I mean, she's the goddess of war and fate and sovereignty, but she wants you to, you know, go to the underworld and transform and grow. And so her showing up this year and then me learning more about Scorpio, it's been a really fun time getting to know myself more in that way and seeing the connection between those. So that's been really fun. Okay, last deck. And again, I could have kept going on and on and on with Scorpio because literally all my decks, I have this one sitting here too, which would be a great one. Tarot of the Haunted House. Here's just another honorable mention. I have this one sitting here because I love working with this one as well. And this one has all like it has that haunted, it's a haunted house tarot. So you're walking in this house and you can see all these beings and creatures and spirits and all this spooky stuff. And so this one is also a great one for transformation and just kind of confronting your fears. You know, Scorpios that's what they are known for too, is being fearless and daring to go on adventures and things that everybody else may be too scared to go on, but they don't care. They're not fearful. They're just going to do it. So that's another good one for that. But here is my main deck. And you know what? This deck, it was kind of hard to place this one. Mainly because this deck is everything to me, and this deck is such a study deck, and I'm sad that it's out of print, but it is the Tarot of Vampyres. I had to put this one on the list, even though I'm so sad that you can't get it anymore. But I know it went out of print once before, and maybe it'll come back again, because it was out of print at one point and then came back, and now it's out of print again, so maybe it will. But Tarot of Vampyres by Ian Daniels. This deck is such an in-depth deck, so of course it's going to be Scorpio. At first, believe it or not, I was like, but this deck is it's everything about me. It's me. And so I was like, maybe it's my Leo deck, because it has that fiery, passionate energy as well. But then I was thinking about it and I was like, no, it really likes to get deep though. Like there's a lot of studies with this deck. The guidebook alone, you can do so much with the guidebook. So many jumping off points, so many things, again, to study, to take further and go look up yourself. And so it's such a deep deck. And I love it. Again, one of my favorites, or my top favorite. This is my home deck. And, Scorpios like the darker themed type stuff too. So I think that's why I'm so drawn to it as well. Because it is a darker theme. But also, the whole theme here is vampires, right? It's also created technically to be a shadow work deck, but I use it for everything as well. But the vampire myth, they die and then they come back resurrected as a vampire. So you have that life, death, rebirth cycle within this deck as well. So again, total Scorpio vibes for me personally, and I can't say enough about this deck. I absolutely love it. So there's my decks for now currently that I match up with my zodiac signs. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you were to do this, or I challenge you this, what decks would you associate with your big three? If you know what your sun, moon, and rising signs are, what 3 decks would you pick? Again, as you can see, like for my Scorpio deck, for my Scorpio sign, I could pick several, but what would be your main 3? I'm curious. And if you'd like to let me know down below in the comments, because I think that'd be fun. All right, you guys, I will end the video here. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I'll chat with you guys in the next one. Bye.